Merci Madame la Présidente, Mesdames et Messieurs les...
Thank you, Madam President. Honourable members. As you know, the Commission has been closely monitoring the situation regarding the rule of law as well as media pluralism and freedom in its annual report. The fourth version was adopted last July. Please allow me to present to you the main conclusions and recommendations pertaining to Greece. As far as the judicial system is concerned, Greece has adopted a series of measures designed to improve its efficiency and quality. However, there are still certain challenges ahead. We take note of a certain number of recent legislative proposals designed to reduce the length of procedures. To date, no measures have been taken regarding participation of the judiciary in the procedures for appointment for the highest judicial positions, that's to say, judges in the posts of President and Vice President of the Supreme and Constitutional Courts. In terms of the fight against corruption, legislation came into force regarding declarations of financial interests. That's an important step forward. However, progress in terms of prosecution and judgments for prosecution cases has been limited. As far as the legislative process is concerned, the report refers to efforts to improve its quality in practical terms. However, in practice, there are still shortcomings here, in particular when it comes to consultation of the stakeholders. The question of surveillance via phone tapping and tapping of electronic communications should come under the responsibility of an independent authority. As far as the regulatory framework for registration of civil society organizations is concerned, in particular organizations active in the field of migration and social integration, there are still major concerns. The Commission believes that practical measures are necessary so as to enable us to evaluate the existing system and to decide whether it's necessary to change it via a structured dialogue with civil society.
Greece adopted legislation aiming to enhance transparency of media ownership. The law set up a registry for print media as well as a registry for electronic press and reserves eligibility for state advertising to registered companies. Safeguards are in place to ensure the independence of public service media, but the fact that board members of the Radio and Television Corporation are appointed by the minister responsible for media continues to raise concerns with regard to their effective independence and to potential political influence. The report also referred to the new procedure to hire staff members of the National Council for Radio and Television, the independent audiovisual media regulator, and the persistent challenges regarding its understaffing. The report has also depicted the situation of threats and attacks against journalists, as incidents included the use of spyware against journalists and abusive lawsuits. The creation in 2022 of a task force for the protection and empowerment of journalists is an important step. Nevertheless, more concrete steps are needed to improve the working environment of journalists, including as regards abusive lawsuits against journalists and their safety. The Commission addressed a recommendation to Greece in this regard. In this respect, the Commission also notes that the Council of Europe's Safety of Journalists platforms identified at the end of 2023 2 cases of impunity for murder, 9 active alerts, and 2 alerts without reply in Greece. The Commission follows closely developments regarding the rule of law in Greece and will take them in due account for the 2024 edition of its rule of law report. At the same time, the Commission proposed a series of initiatives to strengthen the protection of journalists and the media in the European Union. These initiatives will help improve the situation in Greece and in the whole European Union. They include a recommendation on the safety of journalists, a package of a directive and a recommendation dealing with abusive litigation against journalists and rights defenders, as well as a regulation on the Media Freedom Act. The Commission welcomes the recent political agreements on the two laws and thanks the European Parliament for its strong support. Regarding the use of spyware, the Commission has always condemned any attempt to illegally access to the data of citizens, including, of course, journalists. We have addressed this issue in depth during the December plenary session, following the recommendations of the PEGA committee. As I underlined at that time, the Commission is preparing a non-legislative initiative clarifying the boundaries between national security and EU law, in particular, the data protection and privacy acquis. In addition, as part of the recent Defence of Democracy package, the Commission adopted a recommendation on inclusive and resilient electoral processes, addressing also the targeting of political actors and journalists by surveillance and spyware tools. The recommendation also recalls that national security should be interpreted in compliance with the case law of the Court of Justice of the European Union to preserve the effective application of Union law. I thank you for your attention, and of course, I'm now looking forward to listen to your intervention, remarks, and proposals. Thank you.